Well, the Chiefs did it. They're in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. I got the game plan coming for you right here. Well, I told you at the beginning of the season, this had to be about an AFC Championship or a Super Bowl, and the Chiefs pulled it off. Welcome back to RGR Football. I'm Ryan, and this is me going rogue about the NFL, the Chiefs, and everything that has to do with it, rain, sleet, snow, or shine. So it looks like it's going to be another nasty day at Arrowhead when the Patriots come to town to play in the AFC Championship. The first AFC Championship game that Arrowhead has ever held. So it fits that it's going to be a little bit interesting out there. Looks like it's going to be really cold, could be snow again. At least that's what the forecast says right now. So there are a lot of factors that go into this game. And this isn't going to be a terribly long video because I want to hit them pretty hard, but there is a lot to it. And first and foremost, I just want to say that all of you that have been watching me all season long, it's been great to have you along for the ride. I have a lot of things planned for the off season, and it's going to be great. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe, the notifications, leave that thumbs up if you like what I'm doing, and leave your comment below. This episode and all of my postseason videos are brought to you by Insurance Incorporated. They've been in business over 40 years. They're local. They're serving the Kansas and Missouri area out of Shawnee, and they're independent. That means they work with a ton of different insurance companies. And one of their best relationships is with Auto Owners Insurance for auto, home, life, and business insurance. If you can use any of these, check them out at the website below and get your quote today. This game starts and ends with the coaches. There are very, very few more prolific coaches than these two, and these two teams are peaking, and I believe it's because of their staffs. Andy Reid and Bill Belichick have gone head-to-head before, with Andy Reid coming out in a good way in most outings. I think this is another one that bodes well for him. He's got his team peaking, both on defense and on offense, worked through the wrinkles, and now it's going to be up to him and his creativity and what he can do in the weather. Now, he realizes that this is a tough call and that you need to be wary of what Bill Belichick can do. He has some common respect for him. In fact, he made some points here in his weekly presser.
He's a friend, plus he's a phenomenal football coach. And he knows both sides of the ball. And he loves doing what he's doing. He's got me by a couple of years. I remind him of that. We're not getting any younger. Hopefully wiser, but not younger for sure. And I think we both enjoy doing what we're doing. And then when we have an opportunity to have our teams go against each other, thank goodness we're not playing, but our guys, I think, enjoy that competition as much as what we do. So.
Now, all respect to Bill Belichick, he deserves it. And they have a very, very interesting team, a savvy team, especially at the quarterback. We'll talk about that here in the points coming up. But I just want to say the X factor is the Patriots have had this history of winning because they've played at home. And now it's the Chiefs' turn. And the big difference, beyond the X's and O's, beyond what the coaches can do, is you. The difference in playing at Arrowhead is Arrowhead's crowd. It's the noise, it's going to be the weather, and it's the one thing that in that particular stadium, amongst all the other stadiums in the NFL, you, as a fan, can make a difference. And I think both teams know that. The way that they prepare when they play in Arrowhead, all opposing teams run loud music in their practices and all that because they have to know what they can do when the crowd's into it. And despite this being a really cold game and miserable weather, it's the first AFC Championship game in Arrowhead. This crowd's going to be huge, and you're going to be part of it. You have the ability to affect this outcome. That said, here's the four major keys to getting this win and getting to the Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. First and foremost, you have to do what you do, and that is give Mahomes time to do what he has to do to get the ball where it has to be. You saw what the Patriots did to him in the first contest. Played some zone, hid some linebackers. Hightower in particular did a real good job of hiding himself, getting that interception. It was a big pressure game on a big stage. The first time that Mahomes had played them, and I think it got the better of him, especially early. You got to give him time with that line to get off to a good start. We saw what he can do, and what the whole team can do if they get off to a good start against the Colts. They have to do that against the Patriots at home. Use this crowd to their advantage. Number two, you have to attack them everywhere that they're soft. This is a defense that's been getting much, much stronger. And like number one, their pass rush has gotten better each week for the last 4 weeks. They produced almost 30 pressures. 150% of what the Chiefs produced last week in terms of pressure. And what that does is allow them to play tighter in the backside. They played a lot of zero coverage, man on man, last week against the Chargers. I don't think they're going to do that this week. There's too many weapons that really can attack them and win. And if Mahomes can deliver it, there are just too many home run balls to be had between Watkins and Hill and Kelce. So look for them to go back into some zones, which I think you, again, can attack the safeties. I think they're going to double. They're going to try to run some softer fronts. You saw them drop out some middle linebackers in weeks past and maybe even just run a three-man rush when they can so that they can try to double both Hill and Kelce. That's going to be important, and you got to hit them where they're weak. And when they're weak like that, if they're trying to take away both Hill and Kelce, then they're weak up front. And that means you let the guys run the ball. Whether it's Williams or West or Sherman or whoever happens to be in there. I don't expect as much empty this week because if you get those soft fronts, you have to be able to run at them, and that requires at least one back in the backfield. So that's what I hope that the Chiefs do, and it's going to be very important to how they perform on this field in this weather. Now, the Chiefs' defense has been coming on strong. The young players have helped. The leadership of the older guys has helped, and you have to do everything you can to take advantage of that and build upon what you've been doing. And it comes down, I think, to two things in particular. One is to stop their stars. What they've seen lately is a rotation between James White and Sony Michel. They've played about 50-50 the last couple of games, especially last week, where Michel had a great day running and White had a great day pass catching. It comes down to hopefully Julian Edelman will be available. You saw what they did with Hitchens last week, allowing him to blitz some, and I think that's going to be effective because Michel made a lot of his yards last week against the Chargers on the inside, especially over their right guard. So look for that. Also, he runs all over the place very well. They have to be able to flow and understand where they have to be in order to catch him. And then when you get in passing situations, you always have to know where James White is. Because no matter what they do, they don't have a stretcher with Josh Gordon anymore. He's off this team. They have a couple of weapons, but you got to know where White is. And that's, again, something O'Daniel or one of the safeties is going to have to do. The other star you have to take away is Julian Edelman. He's a guy that catches balls. He's not the downfield threat, but he is a crafty runner, even in bad weather. It's going to be about his footing. You have to get somebody on him that can stick with him. It's a tall order, I think, even for Fuller. So I look for maybe Ward to come over there, and they're going to see how they can line Edelman up on the Chiefs' corners. If they can step up and play the way they played the last couple of weeks, be physical with him, I think that's going to help them. Pressing Edelman is the way to slow him down and disrupt what they're trying to do in that timing offense with Brady. And that brings me to number 4. You have to pressure Brady. That's all it comes down to. Yes, the demise of Gronk has been highly publicized. He's fading a little bit. They don't have the outside weapons as much as they used to. But in the end, Tom Brady's arm can fix all of that. You have to get pressure on him. Specifically, you have to get up in his face. Chris Jones looks to be very, very important for this one, just like last week. It's going to allow the edges to come around like we saw last week with Houston and Ford. And that first step of Ford is going to garner some attention. And I think that's going to maybe shift some double teams away from Jones, which should let him eat. But that's what they have to do. On the season, Brady is like 22nd against pressure in terms of completion percentage. He's under 46% completion when pressured, according to PFF. And that's just key to being able to, when he takes stabs, if you can cut half of them out of that game in an environment that's going to be tough to throw in, it gives you a good chance to win. Those are the keys the way that I see them, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this. You can hear my prediction on the Friday edition of the Locked On Chiefs podcast. That's in the show notes as well. Hit the RGR store for any of the gear that you're looking for. Leave your comments below. Thumbs up that thing and subscribe if you're not. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the game, and I'll talk to you next time.